late one, but we're here. We just watched the Reds lose in 11, unfortunately, to the Pirates. Lost 2 in a row. We'll get into that. We'll get into what is an amazing sports weekend: college football, NFL, baseball's final weekend, and the Ryder Cup. It's the Height Differential, powered by Gridley, with Nick and Neil. So, Neil, how you feeling after that one? We were supposed to record like an hour and a half ago, and I mean, I get it. We can't record in extras.
No. I mean, at this point, I just want to curl up under the sheets, turn the lights off, pull the sheets over the head, close the blinds, and stay in bed for an extra day or two. And that was just absolutely heartbreakingly brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, you get through schemes where you have a chance late. I mean, they haven't scored a run on schemes, 24 innings now?
Yep.
Is that the number?
Yeah.
And you get a chance late. I thought they were going to come through there in the 11th with bases loaded and 2 outs.
I mean, I thought once Ty Steve hit the bomb, go into extras, I thought the Reds could pull it off. Especially when they had the top of the order kind of coming up in the 10th. And, they couldn't get it done. Andahar struck out with a runner in scoring position to try to win the game. And then you had the bottom of the order coming up, and Matt McClain just ain't it. He's just not it. Comes up in a clutch situation, doesn't ever do anything. I mean, it's been the story of the Reds all season. The offense is just absolutely terrible. They've never gotten it together. They lead the league, I'm almost certain, in games of 0 runs, 1 run. I mean, it's just the pitching's been outstanding all year. Starting pitching's been great, and then they just don't have any run support. Another story like that. I mean, I talked to you. I think if Hunter Green would have pitched yesterday like he should have, I think the Reds probably would have won yesterday, and we'd be sitting here 1-1 against the Pirates with Hunter Green also scheduled to go next Sunday or this coming Sunday. And instead, Brady Singer gives up a 4 spot. The offense can't catch up. Hunter Green pitches well today, but go up against Paul Skeens, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I mean, the thing to me is if Hunter Green goes yesterday, you can bring him back on Sunday, even if he doesn't win yesterday, and you're in a better spot on Sunday. But yeah, they've struggled in extras all year, and it bit them again. And they start walking guys in the 11th. You're thinking maybe they're walking the tying run, but Marte grounds out the third to end the game. So,
Yeah.
But the good news is the Cubs are up on the Mets, so there still is hope in Cincinnati.
Hope is dwindling. There's hope, but it's dwindling. I'm about to put the Reds back under the grave, put some dirt on the grave again. We've done it multiple times already. Why not do it another one?
Well, with back 1 game with 4 to go, I don't think that's a
Can't
great
beat
time.
the Pirates. It's the Pirates. Can't beat the Pirates at home. You can't beat.
Well, I mean, when they don't make it, you're going to look back at the losses to the A's and the Pirates and a bunch of teams they should have beat that they didn't take advantage of.
Oh yeah, no question.
But one team that did win on Monday is
yeah.
us.
We did.
Is
Acto
us.
victory. Hey, a championship's a championship. No matter how you get it.
No matter how you get it, we played in the Louisville Women's Basketball Golf Scramble on Monday. And we got through 10 holes.
Yeah.
And
I'll call it 9.5. I mean, we were
9.5?
we were just running from the rain in that 10th hole, and
9.5?
yeah, we'll call it 9.5.
But I mean, we weren't going to win by playing. It's pretty obvious.
But now, we did not play. Give us some credit.
We did it.
We were 4 under.
We were 4 under through 4. And then we parred the rest out. You actually played well. You had taken a semi-retirement.
Came out of retirement.
You actually played well. I actually did not play very well, and I did not retire.
You did not play well, Mike. Like you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You were not very good.
No, it was the worst I've played in a while. It's hard to get in a rhythm in cart path only, and when you're not hitting off the tee like half the time because you hit the ball short and there's no point and you don't want to go pick it up. So it's hard to develop a rhythm. You start putting more pressure on yourself because you got to hit the good wedge shots, and then they're not good. And yeah, it turned out to be a not very good day for me. But we ended up winning anyways, and I brought home this major award, this University of Louisville golf.
Now you got to explain to the people how we won. Like, you can't just say we won. How did we win?
Drew our name out of a hat, I guess.
It is a random drawing out of that. Sometimes it's all. I
wasn't even paying attention. I was sitting there eating my ice cream. Everybody starts running over to me. We won. What do we win? Then we headed over to the gift shop.
$100 gift card, a free pair of Adidas golf shoes.
Yeah, I don't know how happy Coach Walls was that we took home the victory, but it was fun nonetheless.
He was too busy drinking his high noons. He was all right.
Yeah, it turned into everybody was enjoying some beverages after the rain dampened the golf. But it was a good time on Monday.
Always good at me.
And now we get to look forward to what I think maybe is potentially one of the best sports weekends of the year.
I mean, this one's gonna be epic. It's gonna be
I
epic.
mean, college football well, Ryder Cup starts on Friday, college football along with Ryder Cup on Saturday, Ryder Cup and NFL on Sunday, and throughout the entire weekend you got baseball's finish like closing regular season. There's 3 divisions and 2 wild card spots. They're still up for grabs, and then we close it all with the Bengals on Monday night.
I don't know if we'll count the Bengals into that being a great sports weekend, but maybe it will be. Maybe they'll surprise us.
So we'll start with college football. Some really good matchups this week. Ohio State goes to Washington,
Yeah,
and Oregon
at Penn State.
goes to
At
Penn State. LSU goes to Ole Miss. Alabama goes to
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
So, and then USC goes to Illinois after Illinois just got rocked against Indiana. But really, really exciting college football slate on Saturday.
Yeah, huge, huge. I think the game. I mean, I don't know. This Penn State game is going to be off the charts. I mean, that's where I'm going to be focused on Saturday night. Once we get back from Penn, I'll be on the trip up to Pittsburgh with Louisville football. But once we land at 7:00, my eyes are going directly to the TV for that Penn State whiteout. Oregon coming cross country. Many people picking them as one of probably the best team in the Big Ten, along with Ohio State and Penn State. So, national championship, Big Ten championship implications on the line, and Penn State's known for their wideouts, so that environment's just going to be off the charts.
Yeah, 7:30 on NBC, so it'll be a night game following Ryder Cup on Saturday, which would be kind of cool. Oregon comes in at 4-0, outscored their opponents 203-37 in those 4 wins. Their closest win was at Northwestern a couple weeks ago, where they traveled across country and then played at Northwestern at 12:00, where it was 9:00 their time. Penn State also comes in at 3-0 and has outscored their opponents 132-17 with wins over Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. Drew Alar has not looked as, I mean, he's now he's a 4th or 5th year senior
Oh, wow.
at Penn State. I mean, in their 3 games, he's only completing 64% of his passes, and it's only thrown for 626 yards, 4 tutties, and a pick. So he'll need to step up his game if they want to get it done against Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, the odds. I mean, the Penn State's got to be the favorite in this game, I would think. The home field advantage. You mentioned the teams they play have not been very impressive, so I don't know how much that factors into large stats being what they are. I mean, he probably hasn't had to throw the ball much when they're beating up on Villanova and Nevada. So, I mean, Alar, I think, is still one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I think he'll still be there in the Heisman conversation at the end. But Oregon offense, Penn State defense, we'll see, who comes out on top.
And, one of the things with Penn State since James Franklin has been there is they've struggled against better opponents. There's 15-28 against AP top 25 teams in his tenure. You talked about Penn State likely being favored, but I mean, I think you got to like Oregon's chances with that explosive offense and Dante Moore, where their offense has just looked so much better in Penn State's to start the year. I know both teams haven't played great competition yet, but I think I got to like Oregon's chances going out east and getting that dub.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I don't know.
And we talked about Ohio State, 3-0, haven't really played anybody since their 14-7 win over Texas. Be interesting to see what they do when they do the opposite of what Oregon is doing, and they go out west to face a Washington team who's coming off an Apple Cup win over Washington State, where quarterback Desmond Williams threw for 298 yards, 4 tutties, and he rushed for 1 too. So this Washington team's proved that they can move the.
Yeah, and Williams, I think it's his second year there as quarterback. I think he filled in. He was there in the bowl game against Louisville last year, and he absolutely tore him up. I think he threw 4 touchdowns in that bowl game. Tremendous talent. I mean, Ohio State is Ohio State, so the edge is probably with them. But Washington I think, can be a sleeper team in the Big Ten. Maybe not one of those top 3 or 4, but they're probably right there below that, up there with the USCs. In Illinois, around that kind of area in the Big Ten. So Washington, a sleeper team. I think they give Ohio State a game. I don't know if they'll be good enough to win, but I think that Washington offense versus that Ohio State defense will be something to watch.
Yeah, I don't know if they will do enough to win that one. I mean, obviously, Ohio State is going to be favored, and Julian saying has had good numbers in his last two. He was okay against Texas, did enough to get the win. Be interesting to see what he does in going out west and facing the Huskies. Another game we mentioned at the top was LSU going on the road to face Ole Miss. Both of those teams are 4-0. LSU has already got wins at Clemson, which isn't looking as good as it looked in week one. And obviously, they got the win against Florida as well, coming off a 56-10 win over Southeast Louisiana last week. And then Ole Miss is also 4-0 with close wins at UK and Arkansas. Their starting quarterback, Austin Simmons, who was hurt in the UK game, still out. So LSU will square off against Trinidad Chambliss in that one.
Yeah, and Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss sitting there undefeated, but like you said, they've had close games against a pretty bad Arkansas team and a Kentucky team that maybe is a little bit better than we thought, but still not great. And I think they're on the road. They're at Baton Rouge. Is that right? They in Baton Rouge?
Yeah. No, it's at Ole
It
Miss.
is at Ole Miss. All right. Well, a little bit of an edge there, but they haven't looked great. I think LSU. That win against Clemson, what we all thought was a great win to start the season, maybe not as great now. So step up in competition for LSU and Ole Miss both. We'll see how good these teams really are.
Yeah, I mean, LSU's wins over Clemson, they scored 17 points. Against Florida, they scored 20. And even their win over Louisiana Tech, they only scored 23 points. They busted out the gates last week and scored 56 in their wins. Maybe Gary Nussmeier, who's in his fifth year at LSU, maybe they're starting to get it rolling a little bit offensively. I think Ole Miss will probably provide opportunities for them to score. Should be a good game, but I think I would probably see LSU coming on top on that one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But you see the other main story in this one?
This might be another reason why the edge goes to LSU. It's the mind games that are being played this week.
So Lane Kiffin's daughter, Landry, I posted, 5 days before the game, so yesterday or Monday, a picture of her with LSU linebacker Whit Weeks, and evidently they're dating. Lane Kiffin responded on Twitter, "Take the over."
I mean, this is just mind games being. This is what daughters do to dads. Like this is what they daughters terrorize dads on purpose. This was planned. Like 5 days before the game is when you're gonna announce the relationship with the opposing linebacker, and this is 100% planned. She's messing with her dad for some fun, and I mean, Lane, I think is just playing all in good fun. He's playing along with it and all that, but I mean, he might be keeping an eye on his daughter and then the linebacker on Saturday. Be like, yeah, what's going on over here?
Well, I don't think he's allowed to actually take the over. I think he would probably get in trouble for that. But dude, it's kind of wild that you would just post that right before the game's getting ready to start. I mean, did you do it to get these views on social, which I'm sure played a role? But it definitely worked.
But it's all fun and games. I'm guarantee you Lane Kiffin's known about this for longer than 5 days. But it's definitely for views, but it's funny. I mean, she knows what she's doing. It's funny. Terrorize dad a little bit.
You following Lane Kiffin's advice, and you taking the over in that one?
I'm not taking anything.
If you could take an over or under, you taking the over?
Why not? Why not?
I think LSU, I don't know. I don't know how that game's going to go. Like, LSU finally scored a lot of points in their last game, but obviously the competition was lesser. So it'll be interesting to see how many points are scored in that one, but I think LSU will likely come out on top. So full slate of games on Saturday, along with the Ryder Cup, and then we get to Sunday to where the games are almost as good. And we're back to where we have a 9:00 game this Saturday or this Sunday, as the Vikings play the Steelers. In the 1:00 window, we're highlighted by what's the game in the 1:00 window that is the highlight? It is
Chiefs Ravens are were they the night game or are they at 4:20?
the Eagles are at the Bucks in the 1:00 window. And then in the 4:00 window, we have the Ravens at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We also have the Colts at the Rams, which is sneakily a really good game.
Better than we thought to start the year.
So of the we're left with 6 3-0 teams.
Yep.
Of those 6 teams, who do you think will stay undefeated the longest?
Ooh, let's see. We got. Can you run around? So we got the Colts, the Rams,
We got the
the
Colts,
Eagles.
Bills, Chargers, Eagles, Bucks, and Niners.
I mean, you got to go with the Buffalo Bills. You know, they were probably one of the best teams coming into the season, already with a win over a really good Ravens team, even though it was kind of maybe in fluky fashion. The Bills
I
probably
mean,
the
not
best team, 3-0 with in the AFC East, where the Dolphins are absolutely terrible. The Jets are not very good. Who else is in it? Oh, the Patriots, they're not very good. So, you know, when they get into division games, they're not going to lose. I think the Bills are probably the obvious answer here. But what are your thoughts?
yeah, they're the obvious answer, and when you look at their schedule, it becomes even more obvious. Their next 5 and then the next 4, Chiefs, Patriots, Falcons, Panthers. So, they're not gonna lose in the next 4 weeks, and then they play Kansas City at home, and at that point, they'll be, what, 7-0? So, I think the Bills is the obvious answer. I think the Colts, they're gonna lose this weekend in LA, so their undefeated streak will come to an end. I think the Chargers are playing really well, but they play the Commanders not this week, but next week,
Yeah.
which could be a tough game for them. The Bucks and the Eagles square off on Saturday, or I keep saying Saturday, on Sunday. So one of those teams will get knocked off there, and then the Eagles play the Broncos next weekend. So they've got 2 kind of tough games in a row, and then I don't know, like if the Bucks, their next 4 games are at the Eagles, at the Seahawks, the Niners, and at the Lions, all 4 tough games. I mean, it's hard to come up with another team other than the Bills. I was hoping this would be an exercise where we kind of argue against each other, but when the Bills are lining up against the Saints, the Patriots, the Falcons, and the Panthers in the next 4, it's really kind of hard to pick somebody else to last longer going 3-0
The Bills won't
or
be
staying
yeah,
undefeated.
they won't be challenged until you mentioned that the Chiefs come to town. But with that game being in Buffalo, they'll probably win that and still go on to win several more. So I don't see the Bills aren't slowing down anytime soon.
And then the Monday night game, which is nice because we get to fully focus on the Ryder Cup throughout the weekend, and the Bengals then go to Denver on Monday night. Your thoughts leading up after the fiasco that was last Sunday?
I mean, it's hard to get any worse than what it was. I mean, what you want to see on Monday night is just the offense to do something. Just move the ball. Try to if the run game can get any kind of semblance of anything. You know, Jake Browning was rough. I mean, he was not very good. Nobody was good on Sunday. So reset.
Nobody.
Now's a chance to reset. Let's see if Jake Browning can be the Jake Browning of 2 years ago. You know, move the ball, get the ball into your playmakers' hands, get it to T. Higgins. I think T had what, 2 catches maybe the other day. Jamar had just a
Yeah,
handful. I mean, you got to get the ball to your playmakers. So what I'm looking for is just the offense to actually move the ball, run the ball, and let's see if we get something going. And it's going to be hard because the Broncos have one of the best defenses in the league. So if you can do something against that, just show a little bit of signs of improvement. Try to muck it up. I don't know. If you can keep it to 24-21, something like that, I think the Bengals have a chance. But we got to move the ball.
I mean, I don't think there's any chance it's going to be a 24-21 game. I mean, you said it there at the end. It all starts with the running game. They're not going to do anything this year if they don't begin to establish some sort of run. And now that Joe Burrow's out, you've got to take even more pressure off of Jake Browning with him under center. And the only way to do that is to run the ball effectively. And they have not done that at all in 3 games. When you don't have to defend against the run because you're shutting them down with no gains on first down continuously, and then you can kind of focus on the pass game. It makes it easier to shut down, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and get pressure on the quarterback. So you got to get the run game going. I don't know. They haven't done anything the first 3 games to prove that that's going to happen. So I don't know. Hopefully they're in the lab trying to figure out a way to get Chase Brown loose for more than 3 or 4 yards. Actually, 3 or 4 yards would be a good carry at this point.
Better be spending a lot of time in that lab.
They better be. And then what we've been looking forward to for a long time is the Ryder Cup this weekend at Bethpage Black. I was doing a little research, Neil. You ever wondered why it's called the Ryder Cup?
I'm guessing there was some guy back in the day now, like Samuel Ryder or something, that just decided to get a bunch of guys together and play some golf.
Samuel Ryder, which I'm proud of you for that one,
Wait,
was
is his name really
English.
Samuel? Wait, is that his name?
It was Samuel Ryder.
No way. That was
Was that you did not know?
a total guess.
So, well, he was a English businessman,
Okay.
and I think he sold like seeds in like little bitty baggies, and that's how he made all his money selling those seeds. But he got interested in golf and started sponsoring some golf tournaments, and then they proposed this event to where they would have an idea. They had the idea to match up British and American professional golfers, and he decided to sponsor it. And they actually had an event in 1925, and then the first official event was 2 years later, where Ryder actually donated the gold trophy, and that's how the Ryder Cup came to be.
Do we have the stats on overall record, which I'm assuming the Europeans are way ahead of us, but what's the overall record in the Ryder Cup?
That is not correct.
Oh.
The USA leads all time. I had a difficult time getting the exact numbers because who they have played has kind of changed throughout the times.
Okay.
To where at one point it was Great Britain, and then Ireland was involved, and then it eventually became Europe. So I don't know what the exact stats are, but the USA has won more matches than Europe has throughout history.
That was before I was born then, because since I've been born, I feel like the Europeans win about every year.
Yeah. So you talk about that. They've alternated. Europe was the last team to win on foreign soil, and that was back in 2014. So they alternated since then.
Yeah.
In 2014, that was Medina, and then what? 2 years ago, Europe
Right.
cruised, as Ricky Fowler
Yeah.
just said, "Here, Tommy, just go ahead and win the cup."
Committed treason is what he did.
But we're going into this weekend with the USA favored, some around minus 150, Europe's plus 165. I don't know. I look at Europe's team and I'm just like, I know USA's on their home soil, but I just look at that Europe team top to bottom, and I think they're a little better.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I mean, you got, not only do you have Rory McIlroy, who's probably, well, I think he's ranked number 2 in the world right behind Scotty, but you've got tour champion Tommy Fleetwood on there. You know, you got Shane Lowry, who's played in multiple Ryder Cups, Matt Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland. I mean, on and on. It's just John Rahm, like all these former major winners and former Ryder Cup champions. It's just, it's a who's who on their side, and that's for sure. And I think they've got the more talent, but it's a different game when you got to come and face the American fans on American soil. It's going to get a little rowdy, so if you can shake the nerves a little bit and let's play golf, see what happens.
Well, and yeah, and not just more talent, more experience too. I mean, Rory's 10th all time with 18 points. Justin Rose is 14th with 15 and a half. And Tommy Fleetwood has the third most for anybody who's playing in this tournament. JT has the most points on Team USA, and he ranks 39th all time with 8 points. USA has 4 rookies: Russell Henley, Cam Young, Ben Griffin, JJ Spawn, where Europe only has 1 rookie with Rasmus Højgaard. So it's not just talent, it's experience as well that is kind of leaning in Europe's favor.
But if you're the Americans, maybe some fresh blood's what you need. You know, like the Ricky Fowlers and the Jordan Spieths, they've run their course. Now you got the new guys in. You know, they've not been here before, so you don't know what to expect. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll come out. You know, they'll be pumped up. It's their first Ryder Cup. You know, shoot some good golf, and maybe they're the next generation. So, like I said, you know, the Spieths, the Fowlers, they did a great job when they're back in their prime. But it's time to get some young blood in, shake it up, and let's see what happens.
And I mean, kind of playing off that, if you had to think of a player from Team USA and Team Europe as well that you think is going to surprise some people, who would you say?
I'm gonna go Team USA. Let's go JJ Spawn. I mean, he had a great year. Was a major winner this year. Played good golf. He's been in big situations. You know, it's his first Ryder Cup, but he's been in some big situations already this year. He's come through in the clutch. So I don't think the moment will be too big for him. But he's one of those guys that I think is probably one of the better golfers on this team. And as a rookie, I think he'll be one of the ones to look out for.
Yeah, and really, like anybody on Team Europe, their performance, because they're all so experienced, I don't know how much they're really going to surprise you. Uh, so I think one on Team USA is going to be Ben Griffin. Obviously, if you've watched a lot of golf this year, you've seen him at the top of a lot of leaderboards. He has 2 wins. He just came second to Scotty last week. Uh, I just like his demeanor. I like the fact that he hits the ball as far as he does. Just hopefully he doesn't take any creatine. But I expect big things from Ben Griffin this week.
Who do you like? Who would you? I know we've heard the rumor, and we'll find out tomorrow on the pairings. But we heard the rumor of JT and Bryson being paired up together. Who's another pair that you would like to see for the Americans?
Well, I just think first off, if it is Bryson and JT going off first for Team USA, I absolutely love that pairing. I think JT can play with anybody, and that's not. I don't think really that goes the same for Bryson. So putting him with somebody like JT, and also having Bryson's ability to just just hit it as far as he does off the tee for that opening tee is huge. Uh, who the thing is, who do you pair with Scotty? And, we've seen him paired with Xander in the past. We've seen him paired with Cantlay in the past. I think Henley might be the guy that they're going to pair with Scotty. I think their demeanors kind of play together. Henley's played great all season. So I think those are two guys that I could see paired together that I'm really looking forward to.
And then, like, if you're like, as you mentioned, there's so many new guys on this American team. Like, when you're making these pairs, like, if you're Captain Bradley here, do you pair up like a rookie with a vet? Like, do you pair up like a Morikawa with like a Ben Griffin or a Spawn or somebody like that, and or a Xander with a Griffin and a Spawn, or do you put like a Morikawa and a Xander together? Like, do you put two vets, let the rookies figure it out on their own, or what do you do?
Well, and I think that's the disadvantage that Team USA has is the fact that, you look at Team Europe and their top 11 are all coming in playing pretty well. Sep didn't play in in the tournament before the tour championship, and he came in last in the tour championship. But other than that, he played really well throughout the year. But I look at Team USA, and Xander's not coming in at his best form. Colin's not coming in at his best form. JT's not coming in at his best form. So who do you pair these guys up? Do you pair them up together and hope that they kind of feed off each other and play better, or do you pair them up with younger guys? And I don't know. I think Keegan Bradley's got a really tough job because of the elements with the new guys and some guys coming in not playing their best golf.
No, he's definitely got a lot of tough decisions to make. We'll be interested to see when they do come out for Friday's pairings tomorrow night. What that looks like
So, what player do you think's facing the most pressure going into this tournament
on them on like overall
on either side,
on
on either overall?
yeah, it's got to be Xander. I think Xander's probably facing the most pressure only because, as you mentioned, he did not have a very good year. Like, he's a veteran, like, he's been on Team USA before. The guys are looking to him to be that solid presence and to win some points for the Americans like he's done in the past, but, he hasn't been playing well. So I think the pressure doubles for him, knowing he hasn't played well, that he's got to come out here facing the quality of the players that the Europeans have and to try to raise his game up back to what he was, last year when he accumulated all these points to make this team.
Yeah, and he's battled some injuries this year, and he played a little better at the end of the year, but wasn't enough to get into the tour championship. I mean, I don't know if this guy feels pressure, but if Scotty Scheffler doesn't play well this weekend, does USA have a chance?
No, they don't have a chance, but I'm not worried about that. Scotty Scheffler doesn't feel pressure, and I'm not worried about Scotty Scheffler not playing well. When's the last time you saw Scotty Scheffler not play well?
Well, I mean, we've talked about this in an earlier pod. I mean, he's finished in the top 8 since 1979. Every tournament since 1979. He's always in contention. He's all even when he doesn't play well to his standards, he's still finishing in the top 10. Even if it does have the most pressure on him, I don't think that he's gonna succumb to that, obviously, just because he is Scotty. Rory on the other side, he just won that Irish Open, which you refused to talk about a couple weeks
Not a
ago.
real tournament.
Do what?
It's not a real tournament.
Not it is a real tournament. It's just not a PGA tournament.
It's not real.
Uh, but I mean, he's going to have a lot of pressure on him to lead Team Europe, and so we'll be interesting to see how Rory plays because unlike Scotty, when Rory doesn't play well, he's fighting to make cuts, and so it'll be just kind of interesting to see how he plays next week. And I mean, we know that Scotty and Rory for their sides are most likely to be the top point scorers. But if you had to pick somebody after that to be each side's top point scorer, who are you going with?
For the Americans, I think I'll probably go with Justin Thomas, only because he's proven that he can do it. Like where does he rank currently among point scorers in U.S. history? I know he's up there.
Well, 39th all time, both sides. So
Yeah, like
that's
he's been there, and he always seems to play well in this event. I don't know what his overall record is, but it's got to be a winning record as far as points go. But I think Justin Thomas, with his experience, he had a pretty good year this year. I know he's not coming in playing his best golf, but I think he can get it together. He loves this tournament. You've seen him playing this before. Like, he gets up for this. He gets fired up for this. I think he will probably be, outside of Scotty, probably our top point scorer for the U.S. And for Europe, it's probably going to be Tommy Fleetwood. I mean, he's coming in off winning that tour championship. He's playing some really, really good golf. He finally broke through and won his first PGA event, but he's finished multiple times second this year, second in the past. He's probably, outside of Rory and Scotty, he's probably the third best golfer in this tournament, or in the Ryder Cup. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer on the European side. I think he's going to come out, play well, and score points.
Yeah, on the USA, I'm sticking with my guy Ben Griffin. I really am expecting big things from him this week, and it just I mean he played well 2 weeks ago. When they all played at the Procure and came in second, actually had a chance to win and then three putted and came in second. But he had putted really well throughout the week. He, like I said, he hits the ball so far. He's got his aviators on. I really like his demeanor and expect him to play well in his first ever Ryder Cup. And then you look at Team Europe, and I think Tommy is got to be the obvious answer. He doesn't always win, unlike Scotty, but as far as consistency is concerned, he's the closest that Europe has to offer this season. I mean, he's always there. He's always competing in the top 10 for the most part. So I think Europe is going to be, they know they're going to be able to rely on Tommy throughout the week, and I expect him to, if it's not Rory, to score the most points on Team Europe.
At Grittily, we believe grit isn't just a word, it's a way of life. It's perseverance, resilience, courage, passion, and strength. That's why our wallets and winning bands are built to last, just like you. Right now, honor your grit and save 25% with promo code HD at checkout. Backed for life. That's the Grittily guarantee. Grittily, embrace your grit.
So looked up Justin Thomas's stats in the Ryder Cup over the break. 3-0 in singles, 2-3 in foursomes, 2-1 and 2 in four ball. So
It's a winning record.
He's played well, and they need him to play well this week. They need all those veterans that Xander, Colin, to kind of find their form and bring home the dub there in New York. So be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to getting up early on Friday and park in front of the TV for 3 straight days. So should be fun.
It'll be fun.
Another person, two people who have plenty of time to park in front of the TV this weekend, after one was fired and one resigned. But Mike Gundy fired as head coach at Oklahoma State. He had been there 21 years, was the second longest tenured head coach behind Iowa's Kirk Ferentz. Was 170 and 90 in that tenure. They've struggled lately in the last 2 seasons, but just as recent as 2023, played in the Big 12 championship game. But we all remember Mike Gundy for one thing, right?
He's a man. He's 40. He ain't 40 anymore. I think his age caught up to him a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little older than 40. That was what, 15, 16 years ago, I think, when he went on that rant.
I think he's pushing 60 at this point.
But yeah, they've lost 11 of their past 12, and they just got absolutely creamed in some of their more recent losses. But I mean, Gundy's been a fixture at Oklahoma State for a long time. Played quarterback there in the 80s and had a pretty good running back by the name of Barry Sanders that he was handing the ball off to. So, and his son wrote a really cool post on social media, just talking about how much his dad meant to him and to Oklahoma State. So if you get a chance to check that out, it's a pretty good read.
Sure will. Now, it comes as no surprise. I mean, they're struggling bad in at Oklahoma State now. I mean, when you lose 69-3 as they did to Oregon and most recently lost to Tulsa, I mean, it's if you're Oklahoma State, you have higher expectations than that. And I don't know if it's the game has just changed so much with with the NIL landscape and how players come and go and all that, and if that's just kind of caught up to him and he just didn't adapt as well as others. But you in Oklahoma State, they expect more than what they're getting. So I think it was time.
But in this NIL landscape, doesn't have somebody like T-Boone Pickens like play in your favor? And it doesn't seem like it's done that at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect that to be a thing. I mean, they've got the T Boone Pickens money out there. I just don't know how they're using it, how they're spending it, but the guys, the talent that they have is just not quite up to par with other teams in the Big 12 and around the country.
No, I mean, we were hearing about T-Boone Pickens spending money well before NIL. And you would think somebody who already had those big pockets is willing to spend money on the program would be an absolute benefit for a team like that. But but we heard Mike Gundy talking 2 or 3 weeks ago before they played Oregon, where they just absolutely got boat raced, how Oregon had so much money, more money than they did going into that game. And I mean, the score showed that,
Yeah.
and their scores have shown that. So I don't know. He's still a legend at Oklahoma State, and his rant, "I'm a man, I'm 40," will go down with some of the better rants. And maybe this is something we should talk about on a later pod, some of the best rants in press conferences. But it's right up there with AIs. We talking about practice with Jim
Oh
Moore's
yeah.
playoffs, with Bill Belichick's on to Cincinnati.
Dennis Green's the Bears are who we thought they were.
Yes, it it ranks up there with all of those. And I mean, anybody who turns 40, you're immediately thinking about Mike Gundy in that viral moment.
Well, there's been probably tons of 40th birthdays where that quote has come out. There's no doubt.
And another person who has plenty of time to sit down and watch the Ryder Cup this weekend is Bruce Pearl, who resigned earlier this week. What, just 40 something days before the start of the season? Pearl's 65 years old, and taking over is Stephen Pearl, who spent the last 2 seasons as associate head coach and played for Bruce Pearl at Tennessee.
Yeah, that one's definitely a huge surprise. I mean, we were on the golf course Monday playing that golf scramble when that came out, and we kind of were all like, "Is that for real?" I'm like, no, like, did we get got by a fake Twitter account or something? But no, it's definitely real. I mean, he just they were the number one overall seed in the tournament last year. Auburn's in a perennial powerhouse year after year in the SEC and around in the country. So, I mean, that was kind of surprising. I haven't heard his reasons. Has he come out and said any reason of why he's stepping down, except maybe the fact that he wants his son to get that job? Like, is he tired of coaching? Is he like, what's
Well,
going
I
on?
I think I think the NIL era is a lot, especially for these coaches that have been, in the industry for as long as they have. I mean, obviously, Bruce Pearl figured out a way to make the NIL, era successful. He had probably the number one team in the country going into the NCAA tournament last year, and got his team to a Final Four. He's the all-time winningest coach at Auburn. Um, but I think it's a combination of those two things. I think you decide to step down because it is a lot and it's recruiting nonstop. And even when you've already recruited these freshmen, you got to re-recruit them, to get them to come back as sophomores and juniors. And you're constantly recruiting. And I think it just wears on you. But I think the timing of it is so you don't have time to go through a coaching search and your son gets the job. And he's already signed like a 5-year deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's smart on Bruce Pearl's part, to hand the keys over to his son. I don't believe has had any head coaching experience, to my knowledge. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see how that goes, taking over a really big school like Auburn, a powerhouse. Like I said, it was the number one seed in the tournament last year. So, I mean, you're taking over the keys to a Lamborghini here. So let's see if he can drive it.
Yeah. And we've seen this in the past, with, dads kind of leaving and giving their kids the jobs. And, with Bobby Knight and Pat Knight, and that didn't work out. Eddie Sutton to Sean Sutton at Oklahoma State, that didn't work out. So, I mean, one that did work out is Tony Bennett took over for Dick Bennett at Washington State, and I think that one worked out pretty good. But that one was a little not as high profile as those other two were. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out for Auburn, to see if Stephen Pearl can get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, you think back, you mentioned Tony Bennett, like, he was the last one that had a similar situation to this where he retired, a month before the season started. They had that switched it over to his assistant coach, and Virginia didn't have a very strong year. So, we'll see how this works out. With the Pearls, I mean, they're both he's familiar with the system, coaching under his dad. So, the inexperience might be a factor, but he's been around, so we'll see if he can, like I said, if he can keep this thing afloat.
Yeah, you're right. It didn't work out last year where Ron Sanchez took over for Tony Bennett when he quit or resigned right before the season started. But I think that this is definitely the strategy on Bruce Pearl's part is to make sure that his son gets an opportunity, and we'll see what he can do with it. I mean, it's happening in our own backyard right now with Bellarmine. Uh, with Coach Davenport stepping down after a lot of success at Bellarmine, and now Doug Davenport's stepping in. So it's just a lot of pressure when you're the son stepping in for your dad who's had a lot of success. So be interesting to see how Stephen Pearl does there. In other college basketball news, well, I guess Sister Jean can also watch plenty of the Ryder Cup this weekend.
A legend stepping down from Loyola Chicago, like a legendary Sister Jean. I saw it was for health reasons, so I hope she's doing all right. I hope she sticks around for several more seasons. But yeah, Sister Jean calling it quits is I guess what is she quitting from? Being a nun for the university, or what is she quitting from?
She's a campus minister,
Campus
and
minister.
she's the official chaplain of
Okay.
the men's basketball team.
Got you. Well, hopefully,
And she's held that role since 1991. It was 2018 when they were ranked 11th, where they made that Final Four run, where she was constantly on everybody's television sets.
yeah. Hopefully, her health's not too bad to where she can still get a few games this year. Put her on TV. I mean, college basketball without Sister Jean that's something I don't want to think about. So she's become a legendary figure in the game.
Well, and you may be wondering, like, you're 106, you can retire, what, is 65? So she must have built up a heck of a retirement plan there, right?
And did she? I don't know. Did they get paid for this job? So,
She
yeah,
she received no salary
I didn't think
whatsoever
so.
as a nun.
Zero salary.
She received a $1 per year payment in 1995. Uh, so no, she does not have a ton of money, but she's married to the Lord.
Think she'll be watching the Ryder Cup?
100% she'll be watching the Ryder Cup. Garrett had mentioned, our buddy Garrett had mentioned this on text, but we need to get Sister Jean and Nana, your Nana, 105, who just celebrated her 105th birthday a couple weeks ago. We need to get them together for a picture.
That'd be a good time.
And we'll close with a non-sports story.
This is more of this is a what were they thinking type of story. I feel like
This is a
that
you on drugs
this is the
for sure
idiot of
story.
the day. We should start a new segment.
You very lazy too.
Idiot of the day.
But first off, how often do you DoorDash, Uber Eats, all that?
I don't at all. I mean, usually,
Ever?
no. I just get in the car and go get it. I mean, I mean, pizza delivery is about the only thing I get delivered to the house, and even then, I'll probably.
Yeah, but that's not Uber Eats. We've been in pizza
I
delivery
mean,
for
I'm
years.
within walking distance of a McDonald's, a Taco Bell, a Starbucks, a Subway, and a Kroger. So I just grab some food from Kroger and a Chinese place.
I'm with you. I think, get in your car and drive. And now if you're traveling for work, or you're traveling and you don't have a car and you're at the hotel, Uber Eats can sometimes come in handy there. Sometimes on a Sunday morning when you don't feel like doing anything and you want breakfast, it's nice to have, a breakfast delivered to your door. So there are the advantages knowing that it's available, but it's not something that I use all the time. But in Streetwater, Texas, we got a gentleman that he decided he's going to use DoorDash, and
Did he?
his DoorDash.
Did he DoorDash some food?
He did not
Oh,
DoorDash food,
not DoorDash. Did he
and
DoorDash?
what he actually DoorDashed
Huh?
caught the attention of his DoorDash driver so much that he called the authorities.
No. What did he DoorDash?
So in his DoorDash, it wasn't McDonald's,
No.
it wasn't your beloved Dairy Queen,
Oh, that's a shame.
it wasn't even ice cream,
Man.
it wasn't even food.
Maybe a coffee or two?
There's one liquid in here, but I don't think you're going to drink it.
What is on this man's DoorDash list? Item number 1.
Item number 1, trash bags.
Oh, yeah, those are, you need those at home now. Maybe you had a little party, a little cleanup. Your friends left. You gotta clean up after them. So we can get after that. Okay,
Might be raking leaves.
could be doing that.
There's a lot of things that you could be doing.
Yeah, trash bags are all right. Okay,
trash bags. So we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
okay. Item number 2.
Item number 2, zip ties.
I have some zip ties at the house. The fence is falling down. You gotta get out there and tie something up a little real quick, or I can understand that. Some kind of something broke on your deck box or something. Hold it down. Zip ties are all right.
You want to make sure the garbage bag is really closed?
Yeah.
You can take that zip tie and really shut that thing.
Everybody's got zip ties at the house. I can understand that.
Yeah, odd, but still, I'm not calling 911. Right?
Zip ties and trash bags can go together. Okay.
Item number 3.
Yeah.
This is the liquid,
Uh-huh.
and it ain't Kool-Aid. Bleach.
Ooh. Maybe you're scrubbing the tub or something. Maybe do a little laundry. You gotta get the whites back in your colors, or get the white back in your clothes.
Okay.
Bleach, clean. Maybe he spilled some red wine on his cashmere sweater. He's got to get something in there. Clean that out.
A little red wine on the cashmere sweater, huh?
Maybe.
A little red wine on the cashmere sweater. So
We're starting to get into the red flag. Yeah, we're starting to raise a little suspicion here, but let's keep going.
So, per your theory, he's cleaning up his house after he partied. He's fixing his fence with the zip ties,
Yep.
and he's cleaning his cashmere sweater. All normal.
Sounds pretty
All
normal.
normal.
Sounds like a normal Saturday.
All right. So, final item,
Yeah.
hatchet.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
So you just,
But
you might be cutting down trees. I don't know.
now, my brother, now we're full red alert here. We're full
Cutting firewood.
red alert.
Cutting firewood.
Nah. Oh damn. What is this guy doing?
But the dash driver gets this order, and he's like, "What's this dude up to?" And he calls the cops.
So let's get a recap. We've got zip ties, trash bags, bleach, and a hatchet.
Hatchet.
This is all pointing to a Dateline NBC episode, and it does not end well.
Do you get all that? You can get all that at one hardware store, right?
I mean, if he was smart, and
Yeah,
I think he's trying to do what he's trying to do, which he should not be doing, you go to the hardware store yourself. But then you're not on surveillance.
But we're going to get into the story, and you're going to see why
Okay.
he didn't leave.
Yeah.
So he did the DoorDash. DoorDash driver calls the cops. So who do you think showed up first, the DoorDash driver or the cops?
If I'm the DoorDash driver and I'm bringing these items and I think I know what's going on here, I'm waiting for the cops. I'm not going and knocking on this dude's door and saying, your delivery is here. I'm going to hand it to the cops and let the cops deliver it to him.
Yep, the cops showed up first.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And knocked on his door.
Yep.
And he refused to exit the hotel, this was at a hotel. And he advised the cops that he was armed. And there was also a hostage.
Jeez.
But the hostage, I think, immediately was able to escape when he was distracted. And so everything turned out well. And dude was arrested.
So what we thought was happening with the party and the cashmere sweaters and the fences turned out to be, that was not really what was happening. This guy was ordering his murder weapons from DoorDash is what we're going with.
Let's just be glad the DoorDash driver had a little better intuition than you do.
It's like a game of Clue. Like Mr. Jones was at the hotel with his zip ties and his hatchet.
Like Neil just roll up here, sir. I got your hatchet and your bleach and your zip ties. Oh, I left your garbage bags in the car. Let me go grab them.
It's like who does that? Like what? I mean, I'm glad this all had to happen. Nobody got hurt. I'm assuming, right? Like we're
right. We wouldn't be telling the story if.
Well, like
if
my God,
murdered.
You're ordering your own murder weapons from DoorDash. And
I mean, if you're
expecting it not to raise concern,
if you're holding a hostage, which in this case he was, can't really leave.
No, you can't.
So,
Couldn't you just find some things around the hotel? Like, I don't know. I don't know how that
I
works.
mean, I don't. Most of the hotels I'm staying at, they'll have a garbage bag or two, but the other three things, I don't think you find them in the top drawer.
I mean, goodness gracious. Yeah, that's not very smart by that guy, and he's probably going to jail for a little while.
As he should.
Was this a Florida story?
No, this is Texas. I
Oh.
said that at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I said it at the beginning. Streetwater, Texas.
Street.
I don't know where that is. I don't know where Streetwater, Texas is, but that's where it occurred.
Well, the DoorDash driver should like get the Streetwater Citizen of the Year award or
Oh,
something, should he not?
well, here we. What the dude's name was Neil Cooper, so it just shows you
We have high
the
integrity.
intelligence of Neils across the United
High
States.
intelligence and high integrity. We do the right things around here.
And if Neil Cooper called Neil Rohr the dashboard driver, he would have got all of his stuff and everything would have been fine for him.
Yeah.
And dude would still had a hostage.
We gotta give Neil Cooper the Streetwater Citizen of the Month, Year, Week, whatever they want to give him. Name a street after him, because that was.
Neil, he's the guy. He's the guy holding the hostage. He's not the good guy here.
Well, I thought you said he was the DoorDash
He's
driver.
the suspect.
Oh.
Neil is the suspect.
Oh,
That's
no.
why I said
Oh,
the intelligence of Neils across the country are not that great.
I thought you said he was the DoorDash driver.
No, I don't think they identified the name of the DoorDash driver.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. No. I take back what I just said then.
As you should.
Thank you.
I mean, listening's important when you're doing a pod.
I was just excited.
And you're kind of feeding off each other.
I was just excited that Anil did something good, and then it turned.
He didn't do anything
I
good.
know. I'm aware. Thank you.
So, what are you most excited for this weekend?
All of it. Give me the Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup number 1, college football number 2, NFL number 3, Bengals number 4.
But and the Reds,
No,
not at all.
no. The excitement, like all of the excitement that I had on Monday has left my body. The clothes are going back in the closet. It's over.
Wow.
Yeah.
You even played golf in a Reds polo on Monday, and now 2 days later, after 2 losses to the Pirates, only a game back where they hold the tiebreaker. You're calling it a season.
Coach Wall says if he's watching TV and he sees Terry Francona picking up the dugout phone, he thinks it's me calling him.
Well, he ain't gonna pick that up.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna pick that up. But no, I can't wait to get up on Friday morning and watch some golf, and then just watch golf and football on multiple TVs throughout the weekend, and keep up with these pennant races, because there's a lot of good, division races and wildcard races. See who gets to the playoffs.
Are you going to leave your couch this weekend?
I mean, sure I will. I'm sure I will.
Say if you don't, get you some DoorDash food. Make sure it's food.
Well,
Don't do it.
no, if I decide not to leave the couch, I will try the DoorDash. We'll see if we can order some non-suspicious items so they actually show up at my front door. But no, it really is one of the best sports weekends of the year, and I can't wait for it.
Well, still,
And we'll be back here on Sunday night to recap it.
yeah, Bengals aren't playing, so why not?
Is that the plan?
Yep.
Is that the plan?
Yep.
So
Let's do it.
we'll be here on Sunday night, hopefully recapping a USA win in the Ryder Cup, as JT goes undefeated in four balls, foursomes, and single play,
We don't have.
and helps the red, white, and blue get a victory.
Let's just hope that we don't have somebody conceding the final putt of the entire Ryder Cup this year, like Ricky did.
And who was that? Who was that?
Some bum. Your bum.
Some bum named Ricky. Ricky played better at the end of the year last year, not enough to get in the Ryder Cup. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll talk all the football action. We'll talk Ryder Cup. We'll talk baseball. We'll predict what's going to happen with the Bengals on Monday night. For Neil, I'm Nick. You're listening to the Height Differential, powered by Gridley.
Give it to me.
At Gridley, we believe grit isn't just a word, it's a way of life. It's perseverance, resilience, courage, passion, and strength. That's why our wallets and winning bands are built to last, just like you. Right now, honor your grit and save 25% with promo code HD at checkout. Backed for life. That's the Gridley guarantee. Gridley, embrace your grit.